Hello, everybody. It's Miss Ginny from the Rotary Children's Library, and welcome to Art Creations at 3:30. So today we are going to be doing a craft called the Mayflower. So we're talking about this ship, the Mayflower. Now, the reason we're doing this, of course, is because Thanksgiving is coming up. And in September, this is some interesting facts about the Mayflower. In September of 1620, there was a merchant ship and the merchant ship looked like this. So we're talking about the Mayflower. All right, welcome, Miss Ginny from the Rotary Children's Library. Today we're going to be doing the craft called the Mayflower, and it's going to be a simple little craft made with paper plate. And I've got a few interesting facts about the Mayflower that I'll talk about. This is a picture of the Mayflower, and that ship was a merchant ship in 1620, in September of 1620, and it was called the Mayflower, and it set sail for Plymouth, which is a port on the southern coast of England. Now, normally this Mayflower cargo, it would carry cargo such as wine and dry goods, but on this trip, the ship carried passengers. In fact, there was 102 of them, and they were all hoping to start a new life on the other side of the Atlantic. Nearly 40 of those passengers were Protestant separates, and they called themselves saints. Now, we call them pilgrims. That's the name in the New World that we call them. They're known as pilgrims. So you can see there's a little picture there of pilgrims right there, and they're sailing on the ship. All right, so let's get started. So we know that the Mayflower set sail in 1620, and it took them 66 days to cross the Atlantic Ocean. And there were quite a few but there was only one child born on the Mayflower during that entire time. So that was kind of interesting. From 1620 to 1626, there was only one child that was born on the ship. And what the people ate on the Mayflower, well, they brought dried meat and fish and grains and flour and fruit, dried fruit, cheese, hard biscuits, and other foods with them. They had to eat the food they brought until they could plant and harvest food. And as we mentioned, the Mayflower ship carried 102 passengers. So that's some interesting facts for you about the Mayflower. So today for your craft, you're going to need some construction paper. So you will need black, red, and white. You're also going to need a paper plate. And you can probably see on there that I have drawn a line across there because at the beginning of the craft, you're going to just cut your plate in half. So you might want to have a ruler and a pencil to cut, and of course a pair of scissors to cut with. And I took some Sharpie pens out because I might want to draw an anchor on my boat afterwards or add some details that I'd really like to put on there. The other thing you're going to need is 2 popsicle sticks. Now you can use regular Elmer's glue if you want. For today's sake, to make it a little faster in the video, I'm going to use a glue gun. So I'm going to use a glue gun. Make sure you got lots of glue sticks too. And the other thing you're going to need is some brown acrylic paint. And you're going to need some glue. Like I said, you can use a glue stick, you can use Elmer's glue, but I would suggest if you're using a glue gun, please, children, don't use it by yourself. That is under adult supervision only. We don't want you to get burnt. All right, so now I'm just going to turn the screen down so you can see what I've got on my table as I do this craft. I'm just going to move some of the things off of here that I don't need anymore. So as I said, the first thing you're going to want to do is to cut your paper plate in half. So you want to draw a line across in half. So I use my ruler and my pencil. So I'm going to cut my paper plate There. So I'm going to use this half. Actually, no, maybe I'll use this half. And you're also going to want a brown marker. So now the next step that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to just color the bottom with the brown marker. You're just going to color on the bottom, the rim as we call it. So that's the bottom of your ship. You're going to color that in with your brown marker. So I'm just going to color it very quickly here. And then you'll see what I mean. Now it is a bit bumpy because of course there's ridges around the bottom there, around the rim. So just do the best coloring you can. Try to cover it in as much as you can. All the way around the bottom. All right. And now I'm going to use the other half of my paper plate and I'm going to use it as a paint tray. And I'm just going to run and grab my paintbrush because I see it didn't stay on the table. So I've got to run and get it. All right, so I'm just using like a sponge brush. You can use a regular paintbrush. So the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to paint the rest of your boat. So this is the rim. Now you're going to paint this with the dark brown. So like I said, I use my other half of my paper plate as a paint tray. May as well use it. No sense wasting it. And I just put a bit of brown paint on there. And now I am going to paint all the way around in the center there. Because that's going to be the front of my boat. Now the other thing you're going to want to do, of course, when you're painting is you might want to put some paper, some newspaper. I don't have any handy here, so I'm going to put some white paper on there so I don't get paint on my nice desk. So just let that, paint that all the way around until you reach the rim there. Don't paint on the rim because you've already colored it with your felt marker. So I'm just going to paint beside the where I left off with the marker. Cover that all in with brown. You might want to put 2 coats if you wanted an even darker brown. I've got some extra paint here, so I think I'm going to do that. You don't need to put too much paint on it. It doesn't have to be too thick. All right. So then while that's drying, the next thing you're going to want to do, and I've already pre-cut this, the flags, but I pre-cut out of red construction paper. I pre-cut 2 flags because you're going to need 2 flags. So I'm going to keep that aside. And of course, I'm going to use my popsicle sticks. The other thing you're going to want to cut out, these are called the windows. So you just need 3 black circles for the windows. Now, if you want to make your circles smaller, I cut out some small ones just to see if I like those better. They don't have to be that big. I just took the bottom of my glue stick and I traced around that and then cut them out. So you need 3 of those. And the other thing that you're going to need is you're going to need 2 white sails. So I pre-cut those too. All I did was I had a square and then I just kind of cut it out around here so it was rounded on every side. So those are your sails that you're going to be gluing to your popsicle sticks. All right. I even cut out a picture of some pilgrims. You don't have to do that, but you might want to put some pilgrims on your boat. So now I'm going to let that dry for a little bit longer. I'm just going to wave it around so it dries a little bit faster here. If you have a blow dryer or you're not in a rush, you can certainly just leave it and let it dry with the air, or you can use the blow dryer on it. All right, so now we're going to attach the sails and the flags to the popsicle sticks with glue. So we definitely want the sails to be about, they're going to be near the top, but you want a little bit left over on your popsicle stick. So I'm going to use my hot glue gun here again. You can use your Elmer's glue, that will work. I'm going to put some glue on my stick. I just need another glue stick here because my other one was running out. So here we go. I'm going to put some glue on, and I'm going to glue my sail about maybe a quarter way down from the top so that it looks like a nice sail, because you're going to have it attached to your boat afterwards. So now you're also going to want to put a red flag at the top. So this is where you'll glue the red flag on then, right at the top of the popsicle stick. Now, since we are talking about Thanksgiving, if you want to write on your flag, give thanks, you could do that too. You can put a design on your flag if you want. So you can see there's my first popsicle stick. So I'm letting that dry. And I'm going to do the second one the same way, the second popsicle stick. Putting my sail on first, leaving room at the top. There's my sail. Now I'm going to put my other flag at the very top. Now it's going to go in the other direction because the flag, or I mean, it's going to fly in the same direction as the other one. So when you put your flag on, just stick it in the same direction, pointing to your left. So they're both, you can see I have two sails with flags at the top on my popsicle sticks. So I'm going to let those dry. Looks like my boat is already dry, so I'm going to put on the windows. So I'm just going to use my glue gun and put on the windows. Move my plate over a little bit so you can see. Now, we want to put them in the center and just kind of apart from each other a little bit. So I am just going to put one right about there. And then I'm going to put another one close to it, because there's three of them. These are the windows of your boat. All right. You can see, again, I used a glue gun. Sometimes you get those strings when you're using a glue gun, so just pull the strings off. So you can see that I have my black windows there. So now the next step you're going to want to do, you're gonna turn the boat over and you're going to glue your popsicle sticks on. So you're going to want to glue them so that they're a little bit apart, so that the sails aren't touching. And I will just move this over closer to my glue gun here. So you're putting a little glue on the bottom. And let's see, I want them to go right about, okay, you want to put it on the right side. I just put my glue on the wrong side of it. You want to put it on the back of the popsicle stick. Or, sorry, no, that's wrong. You want to put it on the front of the popsicle stick because you want your sail to show. So don't put it on the back like I did at the beginning there. I was looking at it wrong. Put it on the front where the sail and the flag are. So now you're going to glue these on and just leave a little space on either end. And now I'm going to glue the other one on. So remember, glue on the front of your popsicle stick, and then you're gluing it to the back of your paper boat. So now you want it at the back here. Make sure they're about the same distance. You have a little bit of space on either side. So that's how your boat is looking. There's your windows. If you want to have some pilgrims, you can glue some pilgrims to the top of your boat just to make it look like they're riding in there, because that's where the pilgrims rode, right, in the boat. They were looking out over the ocean. So just put a little bit of glue and you can put some pilgrims there. And that is your Mayflower